I think one of the things that I love most about travel with my kids is that it's just uninterrupted time that I can spend with them, and I really want my kids to see the world and all that it has to offer. Probably one of our favorite family vacations is going to Maui. My kids have been going there since they were very little, and it's just a very special place for us. And interestingly, that was the place that this year that we were leaving to go to 24 hours after I was diagnosed with breast cancer. In July, I went in for my routine screening mammogram, which I do every year. I have no family history of breast cancer, so I was like, oh, no big deal. There's times where being a physician is a good thing, and there's times where it's not, and this was one of those times where it wasn't, because I could look at the film and immediately see that I had a lesion that was pretty obvious in my left breast, which was completely unexpected for me.
Gigi actually had the earliest stage cancer that you possibly could. And when someone has breast cancer, they don't only need me as a physician to tell them all of the medical information, but they need that human connection as well.
I had so many things run through my head at that time, like, how extensive is this? Oh my gosh, what am I gonna do with my kids? How am I gonna afford to be off of work? How long am I gonna need to be off of work? Am I gonna have chemo? Should we go on this trip? Oh my gosh, how do I tell my kids about this? There was about 10,000 things that came in my head when I was told that, and most of them had to do with worry for my kids. There didn't seem like there was a good time or a perfect way to share this news. I said, I have breast cancer. And they were like, what? I said, well, it's just where you have bad cells. And so I have to have bad cells cut away. And so when I do that, my breasts will be removed and they will put new breasts on. And my kids were like, what does that mean? And so they were completely perplexed about that. And so they didn't really have many questions about breast cancer, but they certainly had a lot of questions about implants.
Something that we do really well here at Norton is approach breast cancer in a multidisciplinary fashion. For example, every woman who is diagnosed in my practice is presented at a conference where we have all the physicians from radiology, pathology, to medical oncology and radiation medicine, as well as a nurse navigator who is there to be the voice of the patient, to be the advocate for the patient, letting us know what's going on in that patient's life so that we can not only treat their cancer, but also remove any kind of barriers that would exist to getting that patient across the finish line, to giving her the best chance possible to live a whole, full life and be there for her family.
I think one of the things that helped with being in Hawaii at the time that I look back on a lot is that it really had me reevaluate life. I certainly wasn't expecting to be told that I had breast cancer, and so to be hit with your mortality in your face like that, I just took a moment to stand and really appreciate and be grateful for everything that I had, and I'm gonna have the rest of my life be the best of my life. So it also inspired me to make sure that I'm doing everything I ever want to do and to be so grateful for every day I'm here. In July, when I had my mammogram and it wasn't normal, that was obviously very concerning for me, because if I wasn't found early with disease in both breasts, or if I'd had any delay in mammogram, then my disease could have been more extensive. I could have needed chemo. I could have needed a lot more care and been faced with a worse prognosis. I am so grateful for the fact that I have access to being able to have a mammogram every year. I know I am very blessed and lucky that I have health insurance, that I can go get a mammogram every year. I know there are so many women in our community in the United States that do not have a car to get there, the time to get there. They don't have childcare to get there. They don't have health insurance to get there. And so I'm just so grateful that I was detected early. I know that with this program with Derby Divas and the fundraiser that Norton does with this, there are so many women that are able to get mammograms with the mobile unit. And I think that I just want to say to everyone, go get your mammogram.
Unfortunately, there are still disparities, not only financial, but racial, socioeconomic, all sorts of things that are not allowing every woman in the world to have an even playing ground when they're trying to advocate for their life. And so that may mean that they don't have access to even having mammograms, and mammograms save lives. But also, we need to do more. So as a woman, I feel like it's my responsibility to help other women to be able to have the opportunities to thrive and to do well. And so it's so important for women to get screened, to get mammograms, and to know about them. And so doing functions like this, where we're raising money and bringing those mammograms into the community for women is so important because we are saving lives.